Welcome everybody to the Broken Wing Racing League. This is the GT3 Sprint Championship, Season 17, Round 3 here at Sebring for an extended round, 75-minute race that will be about to go underway. Qualifying is going to be in 10 minutes, 15 seconds, and it's going to be pretty spicy. We are completely at capacity. Now, it will be interesting if all 62 drivers end up showing up. There's 2 that are registered but haven't actually been in the session. There's 60 total drivers that are in the session at the moment, the people in the pits and whatnot. That said, let's get over to the rankings. In P1 through 3 in each class, as follows. In the pros, we have Joshua Jablonski in the lead over Peter Flander in second, Trey Mystic as in third. Followed by the Pro-Ams is Braden Daniels in first, Chris Lambeth in second, and Aiden Gwertz in third. In the AM class, Scott Weber leads over Tyler Kern, who's in second, and Charlie Bass in third. And then in the rookies, Daniel McSelvey is in first, Connor Burns in second, and Ryan Chandler in third. Then we go over to the team championships. There's 18 teams that are there so far. And a good haul of points for Team Juice. Joshua Jablonski and Seth Hansen are in the lead. Draft Punk Gold is in second. Bluth Racing in third. Draft Punk Silver in fourth. Bolshala in fifth. Carrera Azteca in sixth. Thunder Thighs in seven. Paxman in eight. Valhallan D's Nuts in nine. Valhalla in 10. Tachyon Simsport in 11, Acer Race in 12, Caffeine Global Motorsports in 13, Shake and Bake Racing in 14, Valhalla Motorsports Sphere, I don't know, that's in 15, E3 Motorsports in 16, Tex Az Motorsports in 17, and Volshala Black is in 18. All right. That said, get over to what matters. Gage Heinz right now is in the lead in practice. He leads by a very small margin, but that is still a margin. 0.029 from Landon Loy there. At that 158.272. We have 158s from P1 down to P13. Mark Foley is the last driver in the 158s. And I guess that's that livery he's rocking there. Mark Foley, Carrera Azteca. That's actually pretty awesome. Got the Mexican flag and everything. Awesome. That said, Spencer Smith, who's in 14, leads the 159s. And P14 all the way down to... This is going to be a long ways down. P39. Drivers in the 1 minute 59 second margin from P14 all the way down to P39. Now that is going to be the spicy bit of this race, folks. If they're comfortably doing 159s lap after lap, we're going to see a Congo line here. And what's crazy is Chris Stewart, who is very quick. You got a Pro-Am driver sandwiched between 2 rookies at the moment, and a huge haul of AM class drivers are also ahead. That said, in the 2 minute marks, we have Rick Wishon. Welcome to the league. He's P40, and then 2 minute mark till P50. So 10 drivers in the 2 minute marks, and that last one is Todd Beelmore. Welcome to the league. I'm not sure if he was here last time, but welcome. And you got Steve McAllister, P51. He's in the 201s, and then it stays with the 201s for about 5-6 drivers, and then 202s to end it out with only four drivers in the 202s. So it's a pretty good spread. It is going to be so crazy to see what happens here. Landon Loy. He never had his promotion, did he? He didn't. I thought he did enough races. Yeah, he's still a rookie. Hmm. Well, someone Gage found a livery from years ago somehow. Oh, yeah, I can't tell. Oh, that was weird. Oh, he disconnected somehow. Now, with that said, get another thing on the board here. This little graphic here is, let's say it's in-house per se, but um, one of our esteemed drivers has built this for us, and it is pretty cool. You can see here P1 through P8, P9, sorry, P9. Landon Loy is in there. All pros. Then you got Braden Daniels in 10th, first in class. Daniel Haynes, 11th, first in class. And then Felipe B. Nunez, that big gap there from P1 to P2 there for the AM class drivers. But then you have just a couple drivers that are quick. And I think Braden said he didn't want to uh, jump up to the pros, but he's driving like a pro. And so is Daniel Haynes. Look at those times. Then you got 12 pro drivers. 13, sorry. Jeff is all the way down in P49. So 13 pro drivers. We look at the Pro-Am class now. How many Pro-Ams are there? There's 15 total Pro-Ams out there on track. Then we got 14 AM class drivers. Lee Winters with a little spin there and P60. And then you got 18 rookies. A lot of these drivers are back from previous runs. You have Travis Egan, who was here last time, last race at Imola. Connor Burns, he's a repeater. Danny McSelvey's leading right now in the rookies championship. Not sure about Adam Thomas here. Adam Thomas showed up for the first race, not second race. Matthew Zuckerman showed up for the last race we had. Ryan Chandler's been here, and so is Regan Chandler. And Tommy Batelli. Oh, this is going to be a lot of new people. Daryl Carrington's been here. Austin W. Reed's been here. Todd Buellmore hasn't been here, but welcome, welcome. Marcello Machado's been here before, a couple seasons ago. I think he showed up once last, and then Brandon Langland's. I'm almost positive Brandon's been here before, just not, never classified. I don't think. Theo Nolasco. I don't think I've had to say that name yet. Well, welcome to the league. Those are the ones down at the bottom here, but then we have some other ones towards the top, and that is going to be Landon Loy. You can see where our AM class stacks up. P18 down to P34, P39, P43. Oof. Adam Tingle on the P50. But then again, P10 is where the original, or the leader is right there. Interesting to see that gap, though. You have a pro and the rookie in P1 and 2, and then you have the Pro-Am in the AM in a 10 and 11. Just a nice stack of gold, a little bit of the other colors there, purple and blue. And then you got your reds starting to form in, the rookies that'll probably go to the the Pro-Am class, maybe even Pro. And then you got your Pro-Ams. You got Rodrigo Theory, not that far dissimilar off from Alex Zier there in terms of time, in terms of gap to each other. 0.012 for Chris Lambeth and Joshua D there. Dylan Thomas behind 0.026. It's just it's all cool to see. And then your reds and one gold. Jeff, what are you doing at the bottom there? I think he's I think we got a handicap. He only did 3 laps. I'll give him that. He only did 3. Well, first race for United, super exciting. Well, congrats, Todd. Hopefully it goes well for you. Lap 1 will be the deciding factor. I'll say that right now. It could be disaster. There's Kyle Strauss. I think I think this guy's a rookie. Or does it say? Where's he at? 58? Oh, he's in the AM class. I don't think I see him on my board. Guess he hasn't raced this race. Oof. Unfortunate there for Austin Bebby Reed there. Well, there you have it. He is in the AM class. That said, qualifying is about to start. All right, everybody. Qualifying session is only going to be 15 minutes. And Peter Flanders will be the first driver to lead us. And, you know, I will get back to Peter here. But kind of curious about how close some of these drivers really are. Look at this. You already got your qualifying for Fluffles as people are going off. And they're just following in suit. No real gaps. That's definitely not one right there. Then you got people that look like they're almost about to overtake each other. This is gonna be interesting to say the least. For when we this is when we used to have the track map to show you like how close everything really is at the moment. And good old Todd has a huge gap there, 12 seconds behind him, 3.5 and ahead. I mean, that's kind of where you want it. That's the Goldilocks zone. As Trey came out almost last, but he's probably going to qualify. All right. That said, where's Peter Flanner? He is rounding the penultimate corner, and we're ready to go. Got a good gap there to Angel Bonillo Soto, so I think he's going to be quite all right as far as getting a good lap in. And it looks like he's really pushing here. Sometimes it's always kind of questionable when some of the drivers are weaving down the start straight when they go to start a lap. Those ones are a little bit interesting. Peter Flander really hitting the apex. And that 4-second gap has actually gone down 2.7. Wow. I don't know how he's shaving 2 seconds in a span of, I don't know, one full sector, maybe even a sector and a half, but he's done it. Now he's really got Angel now too far away for a toe, but maybe not. He's kind of 1.2 seconds. This actually might be beneficial for him now. Not on the next lap if he has to remain behind. Now half a second. That's going to be a hard push lap after that. 159.199 as John Javecki goes into second. And we'll get other across the board. Gage Hines takes second. As now all the pros are stacking it. Nick Mazza in third, Joshua Jablonski fourth, Chris Stewart fifth, John Javecki 6, Braden Daniels 7, Marshall Scarry 8, Jeff Koffold 9, Elliott Burton down in 11 as Landon Loy went to 5th, Chris Shearling in 6th, ahead of Chris Stewart. Matt Benson in 11. Now Mark Foley to 14, Aaron Myers into 15, Jake Daly 16, Dylan Thomas 17. Now 18 is Daniel Haynes has gotten into 10th, Forrest Holland into 20th, Rodrigo Theory into 11th, Craig Carroll into 20th. Now Eric Kunzman down to 21st, 22nd as Forrest Holland went into 23rd, Alex Zier in 24, Seth Hansen 25, Matthew Zuckerman 27 as Brandon Burns goes into 24 as Felipe B. Nunez goes into 23rd, Travis Deegan into 14, Blake Patterson into 26, Daryl Carrington into 34, Joshua G 33. Now 34 is Aiden Goritz goes into 33, Lee Winters 36, Charlie Bass 32, Austin W. Reed in 31. I think that's everybody so far. Todd Buellmore into 37, Adam Thomas 38. Of the drivers, Daniel McSelvey into 5th. And I think I've said everyone so far who has qualified. Oh man, somebody did qualify. Sorry. Steve, we got Theo Nolasco in 37, Steve McAllister 38, Regan Chandler in 40. Someone else qualified. I couldn't see that one. Connor Burns 44, Adam Thomas 43, Ryan Chandler 39. Say Blake Patterson in the 28, maybe not. It's going to shift a bunch. John Javecki now improved into 3rd. Gage Heinz takes for the first time. He won with a 158.5. Dylan Thomas into 6th. Chris Stewart into 7th. Aaron Myers into 2nd. Braden Daniels into 3rd. Spencer Smith into 14th. Chris Chitterling into 3rd. Jeff Koffold into 14. Jake Daly into 8. Landon Loy into 9. Nick Mazza down into 10. Tyler Kern into 16. Jacob Simmons into 5. Mark Foley into 2nd. Daniel Haynes into 9th. Eric Kunzman into 16th. Everyone's trading punches here. Rodrigo Theory into 13. Eric Kunzman, Alex Zier into 22nd. Daniel McSelvey into 11. Joshua D into 12. There's a massive amount of improvements. Brandon Burns improves into 23rd as Travis Deegan going into 3rd. He was quick last race. Aiden Goritz into 13th. Improvement for him. Adam Thomas in 24th. Improvement for him. We have Patrick Rich. Oh, sorry. Tommy Batali. I'm probably getting this one wrong. Batali. I don't know if that's right. 44 for him. My bad, dude. I don't know how to say that. I'll tell you, I've never seen that last name in my life. Adam Tingle into 40th. Craig Reese hasn't set a time just yet. Maybe this is it for him. Patrick Rich now does set a time. He goes into 49th with his time across the board. Craig Reese, is this a time for him? Could be. Yes, it is. Puts him into 44th. Brandon Langland's across the line. No time was there for him. Brendan Moaning? No time for this driver. John Balone. No time for him as well. Elliott Burton up into 11th. Look at that, Chris Stewart. Wasn't he towards the lower end of practice? But there goes to show it don't reflect practice onto qualifying, as Chris Stewart is now the leading Pro-Am driver. And these drivers are getting a little left by it. That's Brandon Langland's there. Who are we missing? There's 56 that have qualified so far. Oh, Rick Wishon into 47th here. Tom Smith into 45. Andrew Frank into 44. Adam Tingle into 42. Charlie Bass 41. Angel Bonello Soto into 40. Tom Smith improves into 44th. Daryl Carrington into 46, an improvement for him. Angel Bonello Soto, I think I've said, but 40th for him. Connor Burns into 35, but Tyler Kernan 34. I think I've said that. Connor Burns just improved into 16th. What a move there. Trey Mistack improves into 6th. Is Gage still out there on a lap? Yes, he is. Looks like he did hit or reset. Peter Flanner now into 3rd. At that time across the board, 158.6. Marshall Scary improves into 29th. Craig Carroll into 28th. I don't think I said Craig. Jeff Koffold improved into 27th with that time across the board, 159.6. Now, I had stated in practice, but for those just joining, it was P14 to P39 in the 159s. Mark Foley now sets the fastest lap with a 158.3. It was a 158.2. That was the fastest time in practice, made by Gage Hines. Landon Loy was just behind. And now, right now, as it stands, we have the same amount of 158s. P13, Matt Benson is the last of those drivers in the 158s. And it goes Elliott Burton in the 159s. And 159s from P14 all the way down to P36. So not that far off. 3 have just not shown their potential to be in the 159s just yet, with 3 minutes 34 seconds to go. Tom Smith improves into 40th. Matthew Zuckerman, not an improved lap, but he is, and I think, in an improved position at some point. Tommy Batali there in 48. Brandon Langlands that was an outlap for him. He's just had some bad luck. Hopefully he can take the Mystery Machine into better heights. Is it a Mystery Machine? Yeah, it is. This will be a... He's got 2 shots at this. John... Oh, no. He was on an outlap, too. Kyle Strauss, also another driver, has yet to put a lap together. He's had 2 attempts, though. Dylan Thomas improves into 24th with 159.4. Now that's why I would say, oh, and he's already backed off this one, letting people by. That's very well done. That's how you do it, folks. Peter Flanner, now down into 7th, as Jacob Simmons improves into 11th. Mark Foley is still leading us. Trey Mistek is in 2nd. Joshua Jablonski is in 3rd. Jablonski, though, has opted to pit, not staying out there. So Jablonski could be dethroned from P3. Gage Heinth is still out there. Chris Stewart is in the pits. So he's going to maybe stay 5, maybe not. Who knows? Travis Deegan is in the pits as well, so he's not going again. Landon Loy is also in the pits, not to go again. So we have 4 drivers in the top 10 that are not driving at the moment. They're going to get shuffled. So it's still up for grabs. You have Aaron Myers, Chris Chitterling, Jacob Simmons, Spencer Smith, Adam Thomas is in the pits. Matt Benson is out there. One of these drivers, if they just get a little bit more out of a gap, they will... Just a couple more tenths. Spencer Smith already into 9th as he crosses the line. There you have it. You just need to keep going. Peter Flanner, is this going to be the lap for him? He's going again, more than likely. He's got the time. 55 seconds across the line. That was a 158.5. It improved his position completely. Now he's in P4. That pushes down Travis Deegan. Joshua Jablonski still holding on to his spot. Chris Stewart is down 1 from where he was. Gage Heinz is still out there, and we might see an improvement from him. I don't think he'll get there. Aaron Myers across the line goes into 2nd with 158.4. That drops down Trey Missak, who's still out there. Joshua Jablonski is not. Peter Flanner and Gage Hines. It's definitely going to be a last lap for these two. He's not going to get to the end of the Ullman straight as we have 7 seconds to go. But what can this Valhalla driver do across the line in just a few short seconds? He doesn't... he's in the pits. No butter up for me on that one. That's unfortunate. Tom Smith across the line. Does he improve his time and position? He improves his time and position. P41 for him. Aaron Myers is still out there. Trey Mistak. Peter Flanner went into the pits. He aborted. Is Trey going to take it away from Mark Foley? Improves his time, but not his position. Mark Foley may not have to do anything at all, because he is sitting on the top step with the next driver of Jacob Simmons, who's P12. Elliot Burton. Oh, unfortunate. And that dropped. Oh, no. And that spun out Dylan Thomas as well. Forrest Holland is going to reap the rewards there. A little bit of chaos right there at the end. And Forrest Holland, no improvement out of his time. Charlie Bass, no improvement either. Nick Mazza across the line. What can he do? He's P28. He goes into P14 with that time across the board. Alex Zier, can he improve? Alex Zier goes into 20th. Jacob Simmons goes into 11th. 158.6. Ooh. And there you have it, folks. A little bit of a spicy ending to that. Starting grid, P1 through P15. You can see them on the board. They're on the left. Matt Benson, P16. Daniel Haynes, 17. Elliot Bird, 18. Braden Daniels, 19. Alex Zier, 20. Jake Daly, 21. Connor Burns, 22. Brandon Burns, 23. Marshall Scarry, 24. Chris Lambert, 25. Daniel McSelvey, 26. Rodrigo Theory, 27. Joshua D, 28. Dylan Thomas, 29. Aiden Gortz, 30. Jeff Koffel, 31. Blake Patterson, 32. Felipe B. Nunez, 33. Eric Koonsman, 34. Craig Carroll, 35. Adam Teagle, 36. Tyler Kern, 37. Angel Manolo Soto, 38. Craig Reese, 39. Seth Hansen, 40. Forrest Holland, 41. Tom Smith, 42. Patrick Rich, 43. Matthew Zuckerman, 44. Charlie Bass, 45. Austin W. Reed in 46. Brandon Moaning in 47. Ryan Chandler in 48. Andrew Frank, 49. Daryl Carrington, 50. Tommy Batali in 51. Reagan Chandler in 52. Todd Bielmore, 53. Rick Wishon, 54. Steve McAllister, 55. Lee Winters, 56. Theo Nolasco in 57. Kyle Strauss, 58. Brandon Langland's 59. Marcelo Machado, 60. And that will be it. The two that did register but didn't, they are no. Oh, they're here. Michael Kepper in 61 and John Balone in 62. And one of them's here at the back of the pack. That is John. And you're back. We got P1 through 6 of the pros. Chris Stewart is P7. He's the leading Pro-Am. The second in the Pro-Ams is P16. So, Chris, you keep it together, I think you'll have a great race. Travis Deegan is P8. Landon Loy is P9. Both those are P1 and 2 for the rookies. And then you have Daniel Haynes, who's in P17. He's the leading AM class driver. And the next available AM class driver is Blake Patterson in P32. Felipe B. Nunez is 33. That's a big margin there. So out of the 13 pros, 11 of them are in the top 15, with 2 just outside. For the Pro-Ams, P16 to, I'd say P30 is the general group of the Pro-Ams. There's some outside that. You got 1, 2, you got 3 outside the P30, but how it goes. All the AM class drivers are kind of all next to each other. P32 to P43 with just 4 outside that zone. So you have a lot of in-class battles. Joshua Jablonski. This guy knows how to overtake. So does Trey Mistak. So do all these guys, but Jablonski's always done a little bit more. Robin is racing. I think he's fair. I think he's 100% fair when he goes for moves. So I'm sure we'll see some in this race, as I think Aaron Myers forgot his livery. No Valhalla on that thing. This will very, 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 very spicy race. As always, if there's any incidents that happen on lap 1, those will be looked at a later time. We will be going fully on board with what's happening throughout the pack as it unfolds. I only pulled to Aaron Myers here because he's on the outside. He's going to have to worry about Trey Mistak here. And it is very close. And off we are. And holy, Mark Foley does have that inside line. And it is 3 wide into turn 1. As for some of these drivers, as everyone else is doing just fine. Oh my, that is 2 wide, 3 wide. Looks like Trey Mistak is trying to make a move here on Aaron Myers already, and he does so. He's gotten clean by, as Joshua Jablonski might be going down 1 position from Peter Flanner here. No, sorry, that's it. And nothing there. Trey Mistak is the only one that makes the move through that spot, as up goes 2 for Jacob Simmons, and further up you have Chris Stewart trying to survive here. And it is kind of rough and tumble. Further down the order, we just trying to click on some people. It looks like we got some good side-by-side battles here. Chris Lambeth is down 1 with... Gosh, I don't know. Dylan Thomas is right next to him. But in front of him, actually. We have 2 wide. Rodrigo Theory trying to get involved in this. And Dylan Thomas is up 4 spots where he started this race already. And further up, it looks fairly smooth here from all these drivers. Angel Bonello Soto's up 8. Only 1 driver's down a ton here. Patrick Rich had a spin. And now on over to Travis Deegan, who's down 3. He's got Landon Loy down 1 ahead of him. It goes to Spencer Smith and Jacob Simmons, who made up some moves there. And now Gage Hines, who got overtaken by Chris Stewart. Can he respond? Oh, Daniel Haynes down 4. Brayden Daniels is in the pits. He's going to tumble down the order, but that one is... I don't know. I don't know what you call that one. Didn't look like he had damage. Dylan Thomas now at 5 spots from where he started. He's pushing. Brandon Burns has held position, though. That 5 spots, that last one would have been... Brayden Daniels. I'm not sure what happened with Brayden Daniels there, but that is unfortunate. Brendan Moaning here. He's down 3 from where he started. Oh, jumps the inside. Does he have it down here on Daryl Carrington, who's in that Mercedes? And yes, he does, and makes the overtake for P49. Now only down 2. Wow. I mean, all I can say, folks, is everyone's really close, but no one's close enough. There's just a 2-3 tenth gap that is really, you can just see it. Brayden Daniels is back out. He did a 28-1. I'm not sure what he was doing here, but he's got Patrick Rich ahead of him. He's down 35 spots. This is... Did he just have his quali setup on? Did he need fuel? Austin Reed's down 10. Tyler Kern down 20. Not so bad there for Tommy Batali. He's only down 7. T. McAllister's 49. Brayden Daniels is... Thank you, Oten K. Oyten K. For the sub. Is Brayden Daniels has made that move on Patrick Rich, but Patrick Rich is about to try to take it back, but no, he's sliding in behind him. No. Dives to the inside. Patrick Rich is not letting this one go. Ooh, these two are very close. The battle for P43 is pretty hyped, and Patrick Rich keeps it ahead of Brayden Daniels. Further up we go. Landon Loy, who's retaken 1 spot back. He was down on Spencer Smith here, but now he's taking that back. And I gotta say, a lot of closeness here. If we went to a different angle, maybe, really show you how many cars are just in a conga line. But no one's been able to really pull off any overtakes at the moment, besides a few that I've shown. It was kind of that lap 1, just the start of the race, where people were making moves. Jeff has... Take a look back here. Jeff... Oh. And he's parking it, I think. Now Mark Foley just sets out the fastest lap. Oh, Jacob Simmons and Landon Loy make contact. And hopefully that wasn't... I don't think that was intentional, but that car was glued to the other one. Landon Loy now ahead. I thought there was Maybe he thought there was more room. Travis Deegan here. And Spencer Smith. Spencer on the inside. It's going to keep that spot for now. And this is just one big line. If I had to click on this real quick. It's just some gaps formed, but you can continually see that it's just a long snake with a couple of ish gaps. Talking like a second maybe. And then you have these guys, bang, 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 and then bam, there's Todd. And then from Todd, you have Kyle Strauss, who's way back there. And that's a 6-second gap, but he's got Brandon Moaning? I don't know if I'm saying that right. Right next to Kyle Strauss here, the Red Bull livery versus... I don't know what that is. But it goes ahead. And stays ahead. Graffiti livery? Let's just say that. Probably good. Travis Deegan and Spencer Smith. I think Travis is going to be fully ahead here. We'll see after they thread that apex, and through goes Travis for now. But look at that. You have two drivers battling side by side. That's Matt Benson almost getting fully alongside as Elliot Burton in the Draft Punk Gold is on the right. Chris Traderling is on the left in that, or so now it's opposite, but now on the left again. And Spencer Smith holding ahead of Matt Benson, but Matt Benson now having to struggle a little bit as he's got a driver on the outside, and Chris Chitterling almost getting next to Elliot Burton here, close to doors, but no can do. Jacob Simmons, is he going to try to make a spot back up again? He crucially was ahead by 3 at the start of this race. Now he's down by 3. And there's John Javecki. Is he going to be able to get by Alex Zier here, or stay ahead maybe? He's, I think, just stay ahead of Alex Zier. Now further up the grid we go. Aaron Myers, who's down 1 from the start. Joshua Jablonski, unable to make headway here as he's sitting P4. And, gosh, you know, there's a little bit of a gap there. Mark Foley still with the fastest lap, 158.3. And he did that on his last lap. And he had already been pumping in some fast laps. I don't want to say anything about anyone who's driving fast right now. I don't want to commentate or curse them. I just hope everyone has a great race. Man, that is impressive. Joshua D. Pretty close to Angel Bonello Soto, but on exit here, it looks like he's getting a little bit closer. Nothing there. Lee Winters and Patrick Rich battling it out here for P48. Craig Reese and Matthew Zuckerman. And Craig Reese goes through. Actually just retakes his spot. He's P39. Matthew Zuckerman is up 4. Rick Wishon just behind. And this is a little bit of a group here. Craig Reese with that defensive inside. Aiden here having a look at Blake Patterson. BMW of Blake is still ahead and had the more improved lap there. Moving to 1. Oh! And down goes Blake. And he immediately tucks that one into the pits. That's unfortunate. You hate to see it, folks. Marshall Scari, the driver that we're looking at in the Ferrari. Nick Mazza just ahead. Nick Mazza down 4 from where he started. Marshall up 5. That one was close. And the lap times are interesting. Everyone's in the 159s at the moment. Except P1 through P9 all had a best of a 158. The only drivers in the 158s, I think, as we go further back, Drew Frank has damage. Looks like Theo's gone up 5. Reagan Chandler ahead of him is up 1, up in 51. Brandon Langlands is battling here with Lee Winters. Lee on the outside. And Lee giving wide berth. Very interesting line. He's just gotten overtaken there by Ryan Chandler. But even further back here in the pack, stuff's happening. Ryan Chandler just made up a spot. Let's see. Oh! That was live. He's back out there, but let's take a look at that again. Aaron Myers there. Take a chopper cam of that. Something Apex. That's unfortunate. And Trey is disconnected. He's gone into the pits. No, he hasn't disconnected, but he did go to the pit, so I don't know if he's calling it off that one incident, but we'll see. Oh, come on. Matt Benson. He just lost it all on his own. What can we say? He won. 3.4 margin there. Attaboy Mark Foley. Chris Stewart, who's P5, is leading the Pro-Ams at the moment. Landon Loy. Vortex of Danger. Well, there's Trey Mistack there. Landon Loy is leading the rookies, but he's got Travis Deegan just behind him, 1.9 seconds. So not a comfortable throne to be on for this driver. He's got his rival in class right behind him. Almost forgot. Daniel Haynes. He is leading the AM class. He's got a good margin there. Angel Bonello Soto is in P26. He's in P19. And that group that is in front of Angel, you got Connor Burns, who's a rookie, but quick. And then you have Brandon Burns, Chris Lambeth, Dylan Thomas, Rodrigo Theory, all quick. Daniel McSelvey is also quick. So it's going to be a tough one for the AM class driver. Matt Benson didn't spin. He was doing some mid-race donuts. Oh my god. Yeah. Maybe that's it. What's that? Eric Koonsman. Am I live? Yeah, I'm live. It seems like something's happening here. Matt Benson down 30. Oof. Brendan here making a move on Eric Koonsman, and it wasn't really even a move. He just shoved it down the inside and went on through and defends off on that. Matt Benson now in the pits. Drop even further down. All right. Well, we're sufficiently far enough along. Let's see what happened on lap 1. At least I got killed early instead of 1 hour in, I guess. I mean, yeah, something could have happened. So what happened to Ryan Chandler at the start of this race? Oh, somebody spun him, and he was backwards. And just simply, I think Steve here just is braking. He's not going to actually hit anyone or anything, is he? No, nothing for him. Theo Nolasco, I think he also just was braking to avoid the incident. But that's the only thing that happened on lap 1 that I'm aware of. Nope, never mind. Reagan here gets hit again. If it's the same one, and that's Steve McAllister also gets hit. Theo hits the back of another driver because they're all stopping. Brandon Langlands hits that driver as well. Steve, and then John Ballone is the one that got hit twice, or he hit someone and hit someone else, and then Steve McAllister gets spun around from that, and that's all because everyone was going slow in the chicane. Like what? Tommy gets clipped by Patrick Rich. That one's rough. That's why Patrick Rich was so far down. Tommy Batali, bang. And that is it there. He just went wide, comes across. And Daryl Carrington is trying to avoid it, and can't avoid it. That's unfortunate. Andrew Frank also, right at the very back of the pack is, oh, he gets like somehow ghost clipped. And that's how the start of this race went on lap 1. Everything seemed fine until this is what happened to Jeff here. He just parks it mostly. He just tows it to the pits. Ryan Chandler, when it couldn't get worse, there's a spin on lap 4. John Ballone, also, I think a spin here for him. Yeah, I think we saw this one. Yeah, it's right there. Andrew Frank had this happen. Ooh. No. Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate. And Eric Koonsman. Yep. Kind of all on his own. And then back to the Trey Mistack incident. That one was just a quick chopper cam here. Once more. Oof. And then, Paige Heinz has a spin on lap 9. Thankfully out of the way of everybody there. He lost a couple. John Javecki also. Oh, he was already spinning. He tries to let off, but Alex Zier hits him. He was already in the middle of it. Lee Winters. Oh. Yep, right into the barrier. John Ballone. I don't think he had an incident there, but he's back out. All right, Alex Zier. He didn't mean to tap John Javecki. John Javecki was losing it on entry to that corner. Turn 1. Back live, though. Quad Champ hasn't even won. Yeah. Justin, I made that joke. I don't even know. It's... Alright. Lap 11 of 38 on this extra long race. The extended endurance edition to the GT3 Sprint Championship. Fully packed out, mind you. Out of all 60 drivers that showed up, 5 of them, saying 55 are still here is what I was trying to say. But we lost 5. John Javecki, Trey Mistek, Blake Patterson, Andrew Frank, and Jeff Koffold. Not sure what happened for Jeff besides that he kind of had a little early moment on the exit and then just parked it. Maybe he has already other things to do anyway. Because we have side by side Spencer Smith and Elliott Burton getting it through the midpoint of that apex. And is it all done and dusted? No, it isn't. Spencer Smith is now on the inside line going into turn 1. And we'll see these two battle for P8. Following through another set of corners. Is it all done there? Yes, it is. As Elliott kind of chops off any debate on that one. And Chris Chitterling tries to make a move here on Spencer Smith. And is fully alongside as they go into the next corner. And maybe has it on exit. No, he doesn't. A little bit more on the curb there for Spencer Smith. And it may actually go down. It's got the defensive move here going into this corner. And it looks like Chris Chitterling was going to stick his nose in right there, but he doesn't. Pulls it back in. But it's getting pretty spicy between these 3 drivers as Spencer Smith tries to make a move on Elliott Burton. It looks like almost. He's getting close to it, but then Chris Chitterling now back in the fight and has gotten ahead of Spencer Smith. Spencer Smith. Oh, these are all pros, by the way. That makes any difference for some of you. Oh, Elliott Burton's in the Pro-Ams. He's P2 in class. Further back, P17 here. Marshall Scari up 8 spots in P16. Daniel Haynes hasn't really made a move here, but Daniel Haynes is in the AIM class. He's punching pretty hard right now. He qualified here, and he's got the consistency to stay here. He's got Jake Daly 9/10 back, but Marshall Scari's in the pro category, and that counts for something here. Joshua D. Oh no. Let's take a look what happened. Yeah, you can see him losing it. He was kind of unconfident there. It was Connor, I think it was Connor Burns, maybe. Who had some great avoiding action. Connor Burns, yeah. Nope. Wait. No, it was Brandon Burns that had the avoiding action. They have the same liveries though. It was the white, this one though. The white front, not the orange front. This pack has been pretty much consistent, I would say. They are all just sitting pretty well. Just kind of going with the flow. Chris Chitterling is, oh no, the worst kind of incident there. He's back out on track and he's making it spicy as he is going side by side with Dylan Thomas. You know, Daniel McSelvey is under pressure from Rodrigo Theory, that Mercedes on the left with the silver gloss. And Chris Chitterling keeps it ahead of Thomas. Now we got drivers going into the pits on purpose. So we're going to get some shakeups for sure. And that is going to be interesting. Aaron Myers, Joshua Jablonski are in. Who else is with them? Travis Deegan, Spencer Smith, Joshua Jablonski ahead of Aaron Myers. John Balone had a little bit of spin there. All right, they pit on lap 14. Did 45-second pit stop time. What will Mark Foley do? This significantly plays into a huge factor on how this will all unfold when all these drivers decide to pit, or unless they're just going to react immediately and pit. Are they going to go long? I mean, if you're Mark Foley, he's got 5-second gap to the drivers behind him. If he does decide to pit now and just go long on that long stint, he's still got a good margin here. I don't even know what his margin was before the pit stop. I think it was 3 seconds the last time I saw it, but it could have been more than that after that. I mean, he's got a 5.1 to Peter Flanner. Peter Flanner wasn't. And we're going to get an immediate response. Immediate response. Peter Flanner is going to go in. Chris Stewart is going in. So is Landon Loy. So is Elliot Burton, maybe. Let's see. I think this was the play. Everyone's going into the pits. Jacob Simmons is staying out. Gage Heinz goes in. Nick Mazza goes in. Where is the drivers to look at in contention here? Joshua Jablonski is down the Ullman Straight at the moment, and Mark Foley is got another. I mean, it's going to be a while here. Joshua Jablonski is rounding out the start straight finish, and it is not going to be enough. There is Mark Foley. He is exiting, and Braden Daniels, who hasn't pit just yet, or actually he pit on lap 1. There's no way he has enough fuel to the end of this race, but Braden Daniels now in third. He doesn't have any obligation to let anyone by either. And he's hot on the press. Is he going to try to pass Mark Foley? Joshua Jablonski in fourth. Now has a train of drivers behind him. Aaron Myers being one of them. Peter Flanner got between those two. Post pit stop, 44.9, 45.8. That's definitely going to make the difference. We'll see if these two can make a shot. Spencer Smith is battling out here with Elliot Burton. And I think Elliot is going to have the move here. No, it is still on. And the pass is done. Now, Braden Daniels did get by Mark Foley, but I'm wondering if that was strategic. Aaron Myers has gotten by Peter Flanner. Now Landon Loy. Oof. Another pass right there. The Le Mans curve. And he's through on Peter Flanner, but might have been a little bit of a shove there. These two are not over. Look at that. It is gotta be slightly frustrating when you keep passing a guy, but then he passes you right back. Elliot Burton maybe feeling this a little bit. Mark Foley is back out in P1. Joshua Jablonski in 2. Aaron Myers now in 3. Now we get the full scope of where everyone's at. Chris Stewart. Jacob Simmons is exiting in 8. Braden Daniels is in the pits. Nick Mazza is out there. So that's probably why Mark Foley didn't care when he got passed. He probably did it in such a way. Matt Benson just crashed. Oof. It's a little bit of a spin. He's back out there. Danny McSelvey making a move here on Brandon Burns. It is not over. Chris Chitterling, who's still down 8 after his moment, his little spin. Brandon Burns is the one on the... Actually, I would say the orange and white, but they're both orange and white. But Daniel McSelvey got ahead. He's now P18. And then Chris Chitterling. When it rains, it pours, because there's another overtake on Brandon Burns. Chris Chitterling now is down only 7 from restart of this race. Braden Daniels back out on track. He's now only down 12. And he's P31. Spencer Smith has gotten through on Elliott Burton, and now there is Jacob Simmons just ahead of him. Not fully alongside. And while he was trying to make a move there on Jacob Simmons, it looks like Elliott Burton has finally gotten past once more. Now the overwhelming frustration might occur when Spencer Smith tries to make a move here, dives to the inside, and kind of forces it, and then they both clash, of course. Yeah. All right, we'll take a quick look at this one on the chopper here. He's staying that way, he jumps back in during the braking zone, pops back out, and then... Oh, you know... I'll let you all decide that one. Connor Burns. Got Angel Bonell Soto just ahead of him. I've always liked that version of the Alpine. Or actually Force Indy as well. Couldn't just leave out one of them without the other. Daryl Carrington here. In 44th, he's trying to make a move here on Austin W. Reed. They're battling for 43rd. Regan Chandler just behind. And this group has been pretty consistent. Well, I guess Austin Reed had a 2-minute 14 second, so like that's consistent. But, you know, they're all together. Slightly not live here. Let's go back to Angel Bonell Soto on the outside in the Mercedes. And they go. He's awfully wide. It'll work to his benefit on exit. And it does. We're back live, and he is through on Connor Burns. Difference from the tight line to the wide line through sunset. Elliott Burton makes a move here on Nick Mazza. Hopefully he is not seeing red and is completely calm and rational as he tries to make an overtake on Nick Mazza. And it's not quite done just yet. They're almost too wide. And in the braking zone they'll be. Who's going to be latest on the brakes? I think they're going to go side by side into this one as well. And yes, they do. They are giving each other a good amount of space. And Nick Mazza, does he flick it on the exit? No, he's holding firmly behind as Elliott Burton has remade a spot, but he's got a 1.8 second gap to catch up to Spencer Smith, which will be interesting if that does indeed happen. All right, Travis Deegan on Peter Flanner. They are separated by nothing. Travis has it down. And even on exit, yep, he gets it ahead. Is he gonna stay right? I think so. Does it? Peter pushes in a little tighter, but Travis has it down. Travis now separated by one driver to Landon Loy for the lead of the rookies. Oof, Patrick Rich has a black flag. Let's see how he got it. He already had contact with someone, so it was, I guess slightly maybe an off track. Let's see what happened with Austin Reed here. Oh, that's what happened. And then I don't even know that was. You could do that. It doesn't count as anything. All right. E. McAllister. I think he's just letting a lot of people by. Patrick Rich, unfortunately, yeah, just another spin for him. Tommy, no, I don't think those are going to be anything. Lee Winters. Oh, no, Lee. That is a long way to the warning track, too. We already saw this one. All right, back out to the live. Whoa, how did he do that without spinning him? It was I don't know. Which one are you talking about? Which drivers? You're talking about when he made an overtake? When Elliott made an overtake on Nick Massa? A little slight shade. I didn't know how you could. I'm sure that's all sarcasm. Just, you don't even need the S on that one, the /S. Oh gosh. Well, let's do a quick rundown. I'll start here at P30 since we're already quite at it. We got Brendan Moaning. He was up 17 spots. Rick Wishin in 29th. I think he might be our highest driver. I mean, Jeff Lubitsch isn't here, but highest gained positions. 29 or 25 positions gained for him. Then it's Brandon Moaning here. So 29 and 30. Large amount there. That's Rick Wishon over here, who's the 29 driver. And then we got Craig Carroll up 4 and 31. Brandon Daniels in 32. He's down 13. And he's had a pit on lap 1. I don't know. I think he really probably did have probably had a different qualifying setup, so no fuel was probably on board. That's my only guess, because he went straight in the pits into turn 1. Then you have Tom Smith, who's in 33rd. Charlie Bass, 34. Tom Smith up 9. Charlie Bass up 11. Forrest Holland in 35 here. He's up 6. Eric Koonsman is down 2. I don't know why. He had an incident. Matthew Zuckerman is in 37. He's kind of in no man's land at the moment. He's got some strong pace here, 159.9. It's actually faster than the drivers ahead of him. Just nothing he can do right there. Todd Buellmer is in 38 for the moment, but he might be 39 as Matt Benson has now taken 38 from him. Todd Buellmer up 14. Matt Benson down 22. Matt Benson spun quite a bit, so there's that factor. Adam Tingle just behind, kind of in no man's land, in P40. Tyler Kern also in no man's land, 41 and P41 for him. Reagan Chandler up 10 spots, kind of also in no man's land, 8 seconds to the driver ahead of them. And you have Daryl Carrington kind of in the same boat, 2 seconds, but up 7 in P43. Kyle Strauss up 14 in 44th. Patrick Rich up no, down 2 in 45. He's spun a couple, or he's been hit / spun a couple times. Austin W. Reed and Brandon Langlands are battling out here for P46, and right now it's Austin W. Reed. Brandon Langlands is the mystery machine on the outside there in P47. And so even though it's not quite over for every driver, there's Austin W. Reed putting it in and making an overtake. Even in the back of the field here is Theo Nolasco in P48, up 9. Ryan Chandler out on track, only down 1, P49. P48 for Theo. John Malone, he's making up spots despite having that spin. 10 for him, P50. Tommy Batali in P51. I'm not even sure if I'm saying these right. 52 for Steve McAllister. He's up 3. Lee Winters is up 3 as well. Also kind of in no man's land. It's just how it goes sometimes. Angel Bonello Soto just had a bit of a... Oh. How does that happen? Was he tapped? That'd have been Daniel McSelvey. Nope, he just lost it. Oh. At least the walls corrected him. That's unfortunate for that driver. He was having a pretty good race. And now, let's take that to 27 positions gained for Rick Wishon here. Mark on his MJ flu game. Does he have the flu? Dylan Thomas is in P26. He's not in no man's land. He's got Rick Wishon just behind him. And then you have Chris Lambeth in 25. No positions gained or lost for this driver. Craig Reese keeping ahead of Braden Daniels. Looks like these two are battling slightly. It's kind of over, though. Joshua D. up 4 from where he started in P24. And still in the fight. He's got a lot of drivers around him. Aiden Gwertz just ahead of him. Oh, that was Aiden. That was Aiden who was just behind. No contact from with Angel Bonello Soto when that spin happened, though. And then Connor Burns just ahead. Definitely not in no man's land. He's got a couple of drivers right behind him, and they are still hot on the presses here. And it is not over. Braden Daniels is trying to make a move here on Craig Reese, and he does so. Whoa, what a move. And that was... I don't know if it was comfortably done, but, I mean, it was clean. Might have been thinking, hope this works. Sends it straight into the tightest part of the apex and got through. Wow, that was something. Further up when we go, running on Aramco and Theraflu. Rodrigo Theory in 21. He's not in no man's land. He's got one driver with him, and that is Brandon Burns. He's up 6. Brandon's up 3. And they are kind of where they're at. Wasn't it Connor Burns that was ahead of them? Out of what? I'm not sure. One was ahead of the other in an interesting way. Here's Joshua D. as he makes this 2 wide with Aiden Gwertz. And through he goes. Pretty clean. But people are making some overtakes where it doesn't result in contact. Chris Chittering up into 19th as he, I think, yeah, he's had a spin on his own. And I think he's collected a couple of spots so far. Danny McSelvey up 8 in P18 for him. Jake Daly in 17 as these drivers are... Oop. Let's take a look here. And another one. Look at that. These two went 2 wide, and the move is done. H. Heinz is ahead But Alex Zier is now back to live. They are going to go side by side. It's the only one driver I didn't say through that entire recall so far is Marshall Scari. Wow, that is really far off. I'm not sure if that's what he was planning on, but Gage Heinz in 14th. It was Marshall Scari who's leading this little train. In P16, 8 positions gain. Alex Zier up 5. Gage Heinz down 8. And he's in P14. Adam Thomas in 13. He's definitely the thick of it. He's got drivers all around him. Daniel Haynes in 12. Leading the AM class at the moment as well. The nearest driver to Daniel Haynes is P28. Craig Carroll, who's in 2nd in the AM class. That's a difference there. Spencer Smith in 11th. And I'm not sure what happened, but he's behind Elliot Byrd and Nick Mazza. God, I'd have to love to see what happened there. Spencer Smith. That would be interesting. If only I could find it. Well, I'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at Chris Chitterling, who's still hot on the heels of Daniel McSelvey here. This driver is leading the rookies in the championship after 2 rounds. On lap 25. Now, that is something else. It shows me Elliot Burton passed Nick Mazza, but it doesn't say when Elliot Burton passed Spencer Smith, which would have been the... Oh, there we go. So how is it when he passed this driver, and then Nick Mazza somehow cleans up in this as well? And these two did have some contact, but he passes him there. And I think he just kind of keeps on to it, because this is when, through the next set of corners, we've seen this move before. Some other drivers have done it, and there he goes. And that was Nick Mazza also getting by him. Quite something. Brandon Langlands. Oh, and Kyle Strauss was also involved in that. That's unfortunate. And Brendan had a bit of a spin. Matt Benson also crashed. No. I think it just happens when you exit the pit sometimes, if you're going too slow. But he's out there. Jake Daly, Chris Chitterling. Chris Chitterling has that tighter line and is able to keep it ahead, but does he have the speed as well? As Spencer Smith going into the pits as well, so down goes Spencer Smith. No, wait. I think they have to pit twice, right? Yeah, everyone has to pit twice. I think... Wasn't that the... I don't think I was... Pretty sure they had to pit twice. But you couldn't pit just to once. You have to splash for the end. So Spencer Smith may just be pitting because he knows he's got to get a little bit more for the end. Ray, you were You were in this race for a small amount of time. Don't you hit the pit twice? We get the pit twice. By any stretch, though, Mark Foley has lost a lot of his buffer, as Joshua Jablonski is now close, 4/10 off. Yeah, so you hit the pit twice, means that probably was a strategic. Why not? He was already behind two drivers that he had a little bit more pace than at some points. Splash for the end and see where you come out. For these two drivers, it is battling for the lead on lap 27. I didn't think I was going to see it. Mark Foley does have competition, and it is Joshua Jablonski. Not to rule out Aaron Myers, who's back 1.4 seconds, but the nearest margin is 10 seconds after that. Chris Stewart in 4th. Now let's hope this stays clean. Just another dose of Theraflu. And look at that. Kyle Strauss. Just... Well, is he back out? Okay, he's back out. Oh man, his car is damaged. What did he do? And then he parked it further off, but then he... Oh, I see. He's like, well, how do I... Alright. Yeah, put it in reverse, Terry. Oh. Alright. He's back out there. Alright, so we got some drivers in the pits. Joshua Jablonski is still hot on the heels. And that 1.4 second gap is now 1 second, but, I mean, it was 0.8, 0.9 for a little bit. Aaron Myers is also coming into play, as Joshua Jablonski is now on the inside line on Sunset. Switch back, Mark Foley. Oh, he goes in the pits. So does Aaron Myers. Travis Deegan's also in the pits as well. Some battles are still happening out there on track. Forrest Holland, Tom Smith, and Craig Reese are still together. Adam Tingle, Aiden Gwertz, and Tyler Kern are also still pretty close. Braden Daniels is now only 8 spots down from where he started this race, as he passes Craig Carroll for now 7 down. We got drivers that are exiting. Where is it? Well, Joshua Jablonski's 12th at the moment, and he's battling drivers that have pit on lap 14. And look at that. This is going to slow him up, as Rodrigo Theory is putting his experience down and trying to battle out Joshua Jablonski. And this is going to slow him down significantly. Aaron Myers is back as well. Half a second, and this group does not have to give way for drivers that have already gone into the pits. And now you have, oh my gosh, a 5-way battle, and there's Landon Loy also in this, but he just he already pit on lap 24. And through goes Jablonski through this, but really down to what's going to happen here is Aaron Myers is Landon Loy gets through on Brandon Burns. And Landon Loy was the one that pit really early on lap 24. Why didn't he just open his steering? God, guys. Aaron Myers a little shaky there. And There goes Landon Loy ahead. And you know what this all does? This spells out machismo for Mark Foley here. Is this going to be enough? Where is he going to come out? Joshua Jablonski is now going into sunset. Landon Loy is not that close, but we have Daniel McSelvian. Mark Foley is back out, and Joshua Jablonski is just close, but not quite there, as Mark Foley now has back markers as a shield. As to some say, difficult, because Rodrigo Theory doesn't have to let these guys by. He is free to race them. Landon Loy's flashing his lights like, buddy, get out of our way. We're having a battle here. No, you aren't. He's technically P5. Good on Rodrigo here. Kind of backs up this entire pack. And Mark Foley now has a significant advantage. 4 seconds. 4.4 seconds, technically. This is entirely a different case. Prior to this pit stop, Mark Foley, no, it's 4 seconds, 3.9, was level with Joshua Jablonski. Oh, and as Patrick Rich has just spun. No, he hasn't. He's back in it. Back markers let him by. Rodrigo Theory battling Landon Loy here. And Landon Loy does get through. But Patrick Rich is the next blue flag. We'll see how this works out. Patrick Rich is no slouch here. He knows what he's doing. But he just had some spins. I think he's going to wait right about here. And he does so. That's Aaron Myers that also got through on Rodrigo Theory. And that's exactly how you do it, though. I mean, to a degree, he's not letting up. Patrick Rich has not fully let up when he could have done so safely and let these guys all by. Oh, it even gets a little close. And I think that will be the last one. He let them all by, but yeah, that one is still Peter Flanner back out. Oh, it's not even kind of close there. Don't know. They should change that to something that's a little bit, I mean, love for pickles. I don't. Get real, guys. Be real. Joshua Jablonski now has Landon Loy and Aaron Myers just behind him. And the problem is, he can't attack Mark like this. It's a 4.9 second gap between all that was said and done. And Jacob Simmons, who's out there, has not yet pit. What was the pit stop time for Mark Foley? He did a 38.5. Jacob Simmons, a 38.5 is P10 for Jacob Simmons. So he'll drop back kind of where he started. That is a weird oof. It's also like a can't even see his face kind of oof. Don't they make better PNGs than that? Props to Gage Hines. He's only down 6 from where he started. He had that spin. And he's got Daniel Haynes just ahead of him, the leader of the AM class. Where's Chris and D. Lillen? Oh. Chris Lambeth and Dylan Thomas are actually right next to each other. E24 and 25. Chris up 1. Actually, and Dylan Thomas is actually further back. He's 3 seconds back. That's Connor Burns with Chris Lambeth here. Jacob Simmons is coming out. We knew he was going to drop down. Nick Mazza is about to go across the start straight finish. So is Elliot Burton. But where's Jacob Simmons? He is down into turn 1. Are they there? Yeah. Landon Loy and Joshua Jablonski are battling for second. So far, it's been fairly clean. Now it's a 6-second gap to the leader. Has Mark Foley won a race? I think he has. Pretty sure he has. And Landon Loy on the outside doesn't get the move down, and Aaron Myers might be trying to make that move. In the back, number 5 on that car. He has won Road America, I think, in Spa. Yeah, I thought so. I believe I've talked to him in the booth, but I just couldn't remember where. Place your bets now. Who gets hit first? I don't think it's going to be Aaron Myers. I think he gets a front row to the show. Plenty of space given. And Landon Loy goes through to take second from Joshua Jablonski. Chris Chitterling just behind Daniel McSelvey, only down 3. It's all about optimizing here. Can he do it? Every position counts in the overall. But where is Chris going to do it? Will be into the right-hander coming up. He tucks back in. Joshua Jablonski. No change just yet for this driver, but might see it. Take a look at the, I guess, the impressive nature of that. Landon Loy's up 7 positions from where he started this race. Aaron Myers is down 2. Whoa! What the heck was that? Oh, I think he caught, like, the curbing a little bit. He's in P6 now. Travis Deegan just in front of him. Or behind him. Old driving champ. No comment. Yeah, you could say Mark is like Lando. I don't know. I don't think he has that gap anymore. He's got a 5.8 second gap. This is odd. Oh. Oh, that's why. For sure, we just lost a couple spots there. He was battling Daniel McSelvey for P14. Now he's P18. Praise Yuki. He wishes he could cook like Yuki. Get him in the right car. Oh, no. Then Aaron Myers loses the rear. Man, And then I think that was Jacob Simmons. Yep, that was. That's rough. Elliot Burton also losing. He spun it on. Yeah, yeah, that's great avoidance there for three drivers, three drivers in total. Jesus, and almost wow. Um, that's as that's something. It's quite the save. Despite all that, Elliot Burton is technically leading the or sorry, is second in the pro-ams right now with Alex Zier just behind him in third. Yeah, look at that for Jacob Simmons, up 4. I was gonna go to that one guy. Who is it again? But he has. I'll have to give it a second. Roderick Theory is cooking right now. He's got Brandon Burns just behind him, and he's holding firm. Good defense. Oh, Brandon takes this too wide, and plenty of space, and he gets through. But then look at that, Joshua D. The door is still open, and Joshua D tries to jump inside that, and that was close. Sebring isn't my track. It isn't my track either. It's a rough one. Especially when it gets dark like this. I can't see. It's the driver just behind us who's kept Braden Daniels behind him for a good portion of this race. After, like, the pit stops. Rick Wishon, first race with us. Welcome to the league, Rick. Nice livery and 28 spots gained. He's P26. Do the math, folks. Kyle Strauss and Tommy Batali have black flags. Kyle's in the pits. Tommy is not. And this looks like a flurry of different things happening. Just... Is it just him that's down? There's 41 ahead of him. He's 48. Yeah, so he's going to serve his time now. Got it. Sorry about that. Gage Hines and Nick Mazza. Nick Mazza ahead in the Porsche. Nothing happening at the moment. But further up, with 4 laps to go, Mark's probably loving this. From being just barely able to defend against Joshua Jablonski, have a 5-second cushion, and he's got Landon Lloyd just ahead of him, the leader of the rookie class. Chris Stewart is just behind in P4, and he's the leader of the Pro-Ams. Your pros leading the race, and Daniel Haynes is P11. Top 15 result from the leaders in all classes. That's always impressive. With 3 laps to go, Joshua, can he do something to get P2? He's a good overtaker. Jake Daly, Chris Shearling going side by side here. down the start straight finish. And Jake Daly getting kind of close there with Chris Chidling. And oof. It probably was unsettling there for Jake as Chris Chidling has gone ahead into P17. Mark's interview is going to be sponsored by medicine. Is he really sick? Is that what he said? You guys are just like saying that? I never know when you guys are just joking. Except when Trey's joking. That part was easy. Sarcasm. Sarcasm's joking. Good haul of points for Mark Foley, who sits 10th in the standings because he missed round 1. Herrera Azteca is his team name. Oh, he's actually sick. Well, good on him. Let's take a look on board what it looks like to be a sick champion. At least a race winner here. There's going to be no flag just yet, but we'll get there on the next one. Look at that. Regan and Ryan Chandler are P42 and 43. Not bad. I just thought it was something interesting. I know Brandon Burns and Connor Burns were out there as well, but Brandon's up into 20th and Connor's down 2 and 24th. One went forward and one went backward. One should ask the other one how to help that so they're both up. You know, consistency is key with families. Rick Wishon has Dylan Thomas with 1/10 ahead, and I don't know if he's gonna make a move here, but if he does, it'll be 29 for him. Not just in the cards at the moment. Joshua D, who Rodrigo Theory had taken a spot there for P21 over Joshua D. So these two have been kind of at it for a while. Bill In is a good driver. Spencer Smith is ahead of Alex Sear, P15. What everyone needs to be looking at, Joshua Jablonski. We're going to be white flag here. Take a look. White flag, white flag, white flag. Final lap, everybody. And these two have never been closer. Gage Heinz trying to take a spot here for P9 to Nick Naza. It's not fully there. Tim Apple waving that thing. Whoever's waving that is got some strength behind it. Gage Heinz taking this down into the next corner, and he will likely have to wait until what happens here. And yep, I think he has it, and through goes Gage Heinz. For the moment, it may not be fully over, but we got to go to the P2. P2, P3. One's leading. Nick Mazza, I think, is trading right now with Nick Mazza. And it's trying to go too wide. Ooh, Jesus Christ. Thank you, Midnight Racing Team, for the follow. That scared the crap out of me. Not quite over. And through this next set of corners. Makes a dive to the inside. Doesn't end up working right there. We'll see it in just a second. As Mark Foley wins here at Sebring for season 17, round 3. 6.2 seconds was the gap. Congratulations, Joshua Jablonski and Landon Loy come to blows here. And Chris Stewart takes home P2, and Peter Flanner into 3, Travis Deegan into 4, Peter Flanner into 3, Travis Deegan into 4, Jacob Simmons into 5, Joshua Jablonski is going down the order, Aaron Myers into 6, Gage Hines into 7, Nick Mazza into 8, and Landon Loy and Josh Jablonski are going down into Nick Mazza into 8, Daniel Haynes into 9, Marshall Scary into 10. Oh, God, I can't even keep up here. Daniel McSelvey into 11. Elliot Burton into 12. Spencer Smithson 13. Alex Zier 14. Chris Shearling 15. Adam Thomas into 16. Jake Daly into 17. Brandon Burns into 18. Rodrigo Theory into 19. They both didn't finish technically. They both hit each other and they didn't finish. Joshua D into 20. Chris Lambert 21. Connor Burns 22. Dylan Thomas 23. Rick Wishon 24, that's 30 positions gained for him. Braden Daniels 25, Aiden Gortz 26, Craig Carroll 27, Eric Kunzman 28, Forrest Holland 29. That's the last one I think across the line maybe. No, Craig Reese is still out there. So it splits. Travis Deegan wins for the rookies. Daniel Haynes still retains AM class. Mark wins the pro. Chris Stewart into second, but first in class. Craig Reese is now in 30th as Joshua Jablonski didn't finish. He parked it before the start for the finish line, so this is still changing. Matthew Zuckerman is 31, Tom Smith 32, Tyler Kern 33, Matt Benson is 34, Adam Tingle is going to be 35, Charlie Bass will be 36. Everyone else has crossed the line, will not matter anymore. They both dropped from P2 and 3 to P37 and 38. Charlie Bass takes home P36 as Joshua Jablonski goes to 37, Landon Lloyd 38, Patrick Ricks 39, Todd Bielmer 40, Dale Carrington 41, Regan Chandler 42, Theo Noliska 43, Austin Reed 44, Ryan Chandler 45, Steve McAllister 46, Tommy Batali 47, Lee Winters 48, Kyle Strauss 49, John Balone 50, 51, Brendan Mowing, Brendan Langlands 52, Angel Pinello Soda 53, Felipe B. Nunez 54, Seth Hansen 55, John Javek 6 and 56, Trey Misek 57, Blake Patterson 58, Andrew Frank 59, and Jeff Koffold 60. I got one driver here, and it's going to be the one that everyone wants to hear from. Mark Foley, congratulations on being sick. I guess it helped out your race there, but did you happen, like, what kind of happened for you? Because you got to help me out here. You were leading by, I think, a comfortable margin of 3-4 seconds, and then what happened? Like, what happened with who is it? Jesus.
After the pit stop with Jablonski?
Yeah, Jablonski came back at you.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like when the sun went down and the track cooled off a lot, the car felt way different. I lost a lot of confidence in the rear. I had to start going down a gear for corners where I could normally keep it in third. Like Le Mans and Sunset, I had to go down into second. It felt like the track just became really slippy, and then the Mustang seemed to come alive at the same time. So yeah, I was just watching the relative tick down and down. It was also the second stop. I wanted to fuel save, so my final splash and dash was as short as it could be. So I wasn't going as fast as I could. I was fuel saving just because I knew that I had to make that as short as I could. So yeah, he caught up. I messed up Sunset, so he got a run on me. And in hindsight, I shouldn't have fought him as hard because we both lost time to Aaron. But yeah, when I came out for the second stop, I was like 4 seconds ahead. So it was all worth it. I know I was playing the long game.
It was definitely worth it. I saw what you were doing there, and then it was 3 of them battling out. Aaron Myers, unfortunately, just spun on his own, so he kind of a little pressure was let off on Joshua Jablonski there. But I mean, those two, Jablonski and Landon Loy, were battling tooth and nail, even to the final corner. I'm not sure if you saw in the rear view, might not have. but those two came into contact, and neither one of them ended up at finishing that last lap, which dropped them completely down the order. But I mean,
Right.
how is your flu? Are you good right now, or is it
Uh,
because I
Feeling
mean,
better. I think I've sweated most of it out, which is good. Had no fan on,
okay,
all the windows closed. I basically just hotboxed it
yeah,
in here to get the sweat out. So I am hot, but I feel better. We'll see what happens when I stand up and get out of
okay,
the rig, whether I'll
that's
just collapse. But
that's the big thing there. Drink some water. I know you had a couple fans
yeah.
in the cheap seats that were wondering how you're able to pull off this MJ flu game, but you did it. I mean, what a superlative win, by the way. I mean, what a fantastic result. I mean, you put it in there. You're very strategic, and you ended up with this very, I would say, interesting win. I mean, the way it all ended
Mm.
up.
Yeah, on paper it looks like a lights to flag, but I think I was just quick in all the right moments, if that makes sense. Like
Oh,
qualifying, it just came
start of the
together.
race, yeah. I mean, you were pumping
Yeah,
in fastest lap after fastest lap for the first, I think, 8 laps. I think is what I was counting towards. But yeah, I think
right.
you did it right.
Yeah, so that was when the track was nice and hot. So it suited the Aston. I could just do those 58s, those mid 58s. But yeah, I'm glad I built that cushion because without that, yeah, for sure I would have been caught and who knows, could have been a very different result. But
Hey,
yeah,
if. But thank you, Mark, for joining me. That was a fantastic result, and appreciate you. Thanks.
cheers, dude.
Congratulations
Thank
again.
you.
Mhm.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, thank you, everybody. And also to the other winners, Chris Stewart in the Pro Am, Daniel Haynes in the AM class, and Travis Deegan in the rookie class. Congratulations, and thank you for all those rookies that showed up. That was 18. A lot of AM showed up. We had 13 pros. One after the second, or after a couple laps. I'm not sure exactly, but thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you on the next race, round 4.